I'm going to start off my Week 4 preview talking about a big matchup in the ACC. Starting off with Clemson and Florida State. The keys for Clemson in this game is going to be how they're going to be able to protect Taj Boyd. They did a great job last week against Auburn, but Auburn doesn't have the pass rush that Florida State's going to bring in. So I want to see how they protect Taj Boyd in this game. Other keys to the game for them is going to be also on that defensive line. Can they get a pass rush? Just whoever's going to be at quarterback, whether it be Clint Trickett or E.J. Manuel for Florida State, will they be able to get a significant pass rush against them and just rattle them back there? And as well as special teams, Florida State's one of the best special teams in all of college football when it comes to returning and also kickoffs. So can Clemson get big plays out of their return game and also limit Florida State's return game and keeping them from making big plays, as well as trying to make big plays against their special teams. Players to watch out for in this game is going to be defensive tackle Brandon Thompson, cornerback Courtney Sensabaugh, wide receiver Sammy Watkins, as well as tight end Dwayne Allen for Clemson. Keys for Florida State. How did this team respond to the loss last week against Oklahoma? A really big game, spent a lot of energy, it was a real physical game. How did the team come off of that loss? How did they respond? Do they start off slow, or do they have a message to send to college football? Who's going to start at the quarterback position? Either E.J. Manuel, who hurt his shoulder last week, hasn't been practicing all week, or is it going to be Clint Trickett, who came in and did great on spot duty? And also, another key for them is going to be, can they run this football better? They're a team that predicates themselves on running the football and being physical, but they're 99th in running offense with 96.3 yards per carry. They got to get better at that. Players to watch out for in this game is going to be Terrence Parks, safety. He's going to be a guy who's going to help stop Dwayne Allen, as well as possibly be a guy who spies on Taj Boyd. Chris Thompson is another guy as a running back. He's going to be a guy that they're going to hope that could spark the running game. And also Telvin Smith, who's really a backup, but I think he should see a lot of starts at that middle linebacker position because he could play well in space. He's a fast guy at the middle linebacker spot, and I think Vince Williams would struggle in Clemson's spread attack. Big key to this game is going to be Clemson's pass offense against Florida State's pass defense. Florida State has one of the best. They have the best duo in college football at corners with Xavier Rhodes and Greg Reed. How is Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins? How those guys? How can they make plays against this big secondary? But I'm taking Clemson in the upset in this game. I actually picked them to win this game anyway, depending on how Florida State won. But I'm taking Clemson in this game. Moving on to the SEC game of the week, Arkansas and Alabama. Key for Arkansas is going to be how does Taylor Wilson look in his first true big road test of the season? Can he stay composed? Also, can they have a balanced attack? He has the best weapons in college football when it comes to receivers. For Biletnikoff, award winner, finalists, or guys on the watch list for them. But also, can they run the football and be balanced with Rodney Wingo Jr. and DeAnthony Curtis? And how does this line look? They lost their best lineman and Jake Beckett. He's not going to be playing in this game. Can they be able to get a pass rush and also stop the run as well? Players to watch out for in this game is going to be wide receiver Joe Adams, who can help out in the return game as well. Rodney Wingo Jr., the running back, who's going to be seeing a lot of the carries, and Jerry Franklin, the linebacker, who should help in that run game, stopping the run on Trent Richardson and Eddie Lacy. Keys for Alabama is can they get a solid passing attack? Because I think Arkansas is going to force them to run the football, and they're going to force to stop them and put 7 or 8 guys in the box and force them to beat on the outside. So who's going to step up on the outside, as well as can A.J. McCarron step up as well? And also that pass defense. This is going to be the one test for those DBs in that secondary. Very good secondary with Dre Kirkpatrick, Mark Barron, D. Milner, as well as McKenzie back there. Those guys, how are they going to be able to respond? And for their big test against all these great wide receivers that Arkansas is going to throw at them. Players to watch out for, like I said, Mark Barron and Dre Kirkpatrick, as well as also A.J. McCarron should help out in this game. I've been going back and forth a lot. I want to pick Alabama, but I just think that if the one big key to this game is definitely going to be turnover, is going to be the quarterback play, and I think Taylor Wilson, with the line that he has, they should be able to protect him, as well as the wide receivers that he has. If they can stay balanced, I think they'll take this game, and Arkansas on the upset. Moving on to the Big 12 game of the week, Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. Keys for Oklahoma State is going to be, can they get a pass rush on this Texas A&M offensive line? Their offensive line is really good, and Oklahoma State has not really gotten a good enough pass rush. As well as can they be able to stop the run? Texas A&M brings two great running backs into the system, and Cyrus Gray into this game, and Cyrus Gray and Christine Michaels. Will they be able to stop them? Players to watch out for in this game is going to be Joseph Randall, starting running back for Oklahoma State. Josh Cooper, who's going to be a guy to watch out for because Justin Blackman is going to see a lot of double teams, and Broderick Brown, who's a cornerback, who's going to be asked to do a lot and cover certain guys on the field at the cornerback spot. Key for Texas A&M is definitely going to be, can they continue to run the ball effectively? Like I said, with those two great running backs that they have, it could really open up the play-action pass for them. How good really is this pass rush? I think they're one of the best pass rushing teams statistic-wise, but they haven't really played a lot of talent. Oklahoma State brings a good line at them, a good solid line. So we get really going to see how good is this pass rush. Is it because of the lack of competition that they play where they get a lot of sacks, or is this pass rush really good? And also the secondary play, they don't have a lot of speed back there, but Oklahoma State brings a lot of weapons with Justin Blackman, Josh Cooper, Joseph Randall, and Isaiah Anderson. They're going to be bringing a lot of guys. And is this secondary really up to the challenge? They struggled against SMU in the beginning, but let's see how good this team really is. Players to watch out for A&M are going to be Jeff Fuller, wide receiver, big guy. He's one of the best wide receivers in the Big 12. Tony Gerard Eddy, a defensive end who should really help out, try to get pressure, and Cyrus Gray, the running back, who's the best running back that they have, but he should be able to make a lot of yards with how poor that the Oklahoma State defense has looked so far this season. The one big key in this game is going to be turnovers. This is going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion. So the team that has the less amount of turnovers, I think, will win this game. I'm going to pick Oklahoma State. If Brandon Whedon to Justin Blackman is the best quarterback wide receiver combo in the country, so I think that Justin Blackman will have a huge day, and I think Oklahoma State will be able to make a couple turnovers in the pass, and their pass defense should make a couple interceptions, and I think they'll pull out this game on the road. Moving on to the last game, the big game on the night, West Virginia LSU. Keys for West Virginia: can they develop some type of running game, even if it is through the passing game? They don't have a really great running back, but they use their short passing game as a type of their running game. Can they be able to stop the run that LSU is going to bring to the table? And also special teams is another key for them. Can they create good field position with Tavon Austin, Stedman Bailey? Can they create, in the return game, can they create great field position on the special teams? Players to watch out for West Virginia are going to be Tavon Austin, a guy who's going to make a lot of plays out there. Ivan McCartney, I think he's going to step up and make big plays at the wide receiver position, as well as Keith Tandy, the best corner that they have, and as well as Bruce Irvin, their best pass rusher, one of the best pass rushers in the whole entire country. Can those guys on the defensive side, those two playmakers, and Tandy and Irvin, can they make plays and come for the upset? LSU keys to this game is running the ball. Can they run the ball and control that clock? Keep West Virginia's offense off the field. Can they get a pass rush on Geno Smith? He's a really great quarterback. Can they get a pass rush on him? And can they make plays in space on defense? Contain the yak yards. Don't make West Virginia get a lot of yak yards. Yak yards are yards after catch. Can they limit those? Players to watch out for: running back Spencer Ware, defensive tackle Anthony Johnson, who I think is going to have a big game, and Morris Claiborne, one of the best corners in all of college football. The one big key to this game is going to be line of scrimmage. Who's going to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage at best? Whoever dominates the line of scrimmage, I believe, will win this game. I want to pick West Virginia in the upset, but I think that LSU is going to be able to run the football on them a lot, and Spencer Ware and those running backs should really have should really wear them out in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to pick LSU to win this game. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'll pick LSU to pull it off at the end. Let me know what you guys think. My winners that I have are going to be LSU, Oklahoma State, Arkansas in the upset, and Clemson in the upset. Let me know what you guys think, and leave your comments below and subscribe to the top of the page. Thanks.